You don't seem to want to accept the fact that you're dealing with an expert in guerrilla warfare.
Are you telling me that 200 men against your boy is a no-win situation for us?
You send that many, don't forget one thing. A good supply of body bags.
Sylvester Stallone. This time, he's fighting for his life. First Blood.
Welcome back to Last Night I Watched. I'm here with the homie Ian. What's up, Ian?
Hey, Roman.
And
good to have you here.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's nice to be here.
Good to be here.
Yes, it is. On this foggy Saturday morning.
Yeah.
And I'm also here with Carlos. What's up, Carlos?
What's up?
Yo. Veterans Day was a couple days ago, so we decided to celebrate by watching First Blood, 1982, the Sylvester Stallone film. And yeah, what did you guys think? I mean, I think we've all seen this movie before plenty of times, but on a recent rewatch, you know, Carlos, what was your kind of first thoughts?
On a rewatch, it was gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
What a beautiful film. A lot of great colors too. I actually recently watched another vet film, more about the Afghanistan war, but I would have to say this one's just such a classic. I think I prefer this one way more than, I believe it was Shia LaBeouf's Man Down, which did not receive a good score.
Oh,
so
God.
I guess I can't really compare the two.
Okay.
But yeah, man, this is just a great film all around.
Yeah. What'd you think, Ian?
Yeah, I like this movie a lot. Because I'm the one who chose this movie, and the reason why, you know, Veterans Day was 2 days ago, and I liked, that's just what I liked. Last year I watched Dead Presidents on Veterans Day. I just, you know, for our long lost episode of Jaws, I chose that because it was around 4th of July when we did that. So I like to tie movies in with the time of the year, and I talked to Carlos and John about what we should do. And I think you might have been there too, Roman. Because I was thinking like maybe we could do Dead Presidents. I asked my friend who is a veteran like what other ideas we could possibly do. He recommended The Deer Hunter, but my first choice was the episode we're doing right now, which is First Blood, because I think it's a very interesting look at a veteran, a Vietnam War veteran, coming back to the States. And well, he's been in the States for a while, but he just kind of is
Still reintegrating somewhat.
Yeah, exactly.
If at all.
Exactly. And it's funny. You said it's a beautiful movie. Sylvester Stallone said it was really depressing to make because of it was just really overcast all the time and just dreary. They shot it it's a town called Hope in British Columbia.
Oh.
He said it was just
Really, it's called Hope.
drab and kind of uneventful. They kind of reference that in the movie. That the sheriff kind of says that.
Yeah, quiet little town.
Yeah, and some might even say it's boring, and you know that's the way we like it. But
Boring.
I think it's a great 80s action movie. I think it's just a great action movie in general. I think it's one of Sylvester Stallone's better movies. I think I like how it has something to say.
Yeah.
You know, it's got not really necessarily a message, but there's kind of, what do you call it? Like I guess message. I
Yeah,
don't know.
it's a message.
It has a
Yeah.
point to make, kind of.
Yeah, it does. It's not just action.
And that's fine. You know,
It's
we
safe
reviewed
action.
Commando, and that's just action, and that's a great movie.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But I like, you know, because a lot of 80s action movies are like that. I think this one, and maybe the Terminator, because I think the Terminator had a lot to say too about certain things.
Yeah.
About like humanity and machines. And yeah, I think this kind of sets it a tier above other 80s action movies, even though I do like a lot of 80s action movies.
Right.
But yeah, it's great. It's a great movie.
It's almost grounded more in real life.
Yeah.
Maybe we could say, because it has to do with actual real wars that happened and maybe the real psychological effects that troops can suffer.
Yeah.
Whereas Commando, he's just fucking badass and will mow through everybody.
Yeah, but it's
no regrets.
It's funny because Stallone is like that too in this movie. He takes out a shitload of National Guard and deputies.
Yeah.
And it's actually, I think he only kills one person, and he didn't even mean to kill the person.
Exactly.
Yeah, the one guy, Art,
Yeah.
Art that falls out of the
Yeah, he's
helicopter.
shooting at him.
That's the only
in the
death.
helicopter.
Yeah. that we know of.
Right, yeah. Well, he kills a boar.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
kills a boar.
And the dogs.
And he kills the
three
dogs.
dogs.
That's right.
True.
Yeah, he kills the animals.
Animal violence.
Yeah. What was it? I was just gonna say something. Oh God, I can't remember.
He cripples a whole town's infrastructure.
He does.
Yeah.
He takes out the whole
Oh,
town.
yeah.
That is kind of funny.
I think what I was gonna say is he tells the sheriff, you know, I could have killed them all, could have killed you. He can kill these people, but he chooses not to.
Oh,
Yeah.
he easily could have.
Yeah.
All of his booby traps, they were aiming for the legs.
I thought that was
just to
great.
take him out. That's
I
pretty
thought
cool.
He's
Yeah.
tying people up to trees, and I like the one where it's like spikes that go into the guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
there's-
talking
Yeah, it's
about?
like sweeps out and hits
and
him in the
he,
legs.
and he gets stuck. And he just
Yeah.
gets
Yeah.
just
I've
kinda
seen that
caught
trap in
there.
other movies. I just can't think of. Does he do that in Predator? Actually, I mean, he does.
Yeah,
It
he
is a
might.
log trap in Predator, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, it's definitely gritty, like more grounded for sure than compared to a movie like Commando. You know, he's jacked, but he's not like Arnold Schwarzenegger, or like, you know, bigger than life. jacked.
Humongous.
Sylvester Stallone said in the commentary he shot this after Rocky 3, and he lost actually a decent amount of weight
Oh,
for
okay.
this because in Rocky 3 he was pretty jacked up.
yeah, he looks good in this movie.
He looks
He's,
pretty
like,
normal.
lean and-
I mean, you
yeah.
know, he's still very muscular. Like when they're showering him off and everything, he's still a very well built dude. But at
Yeah.
the same time, he's not like you know, WWF bodybuilding wrestling guy.
Right. Yeah. But I just like you guys said, it had something to say. It not just action. It's like it goes into that, you know, that PTSD and everything that comes in. What happens after a war to like these guys, you know? I always
Yeah.
think of you know, in Apocalypse Now, it's like I love the smell of napalm in the morning, and
Yeah.
but after that he says, you know, like someday this war is gonna end, you know, and he just means like, what do they do? Like, how does a soldier reintegrate back into society? How do they, you know, switch all that off? And you know, you never turn it off. It never ends, or whatever
Yeah.
Sylvester Stallone says.
Yeah.
He's like, what does he say? I can't even get a job washing cars or something like
Can't even
that.
hold a job. Parking cars.
Oh, parking cars.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So he's kind of like almost like forced to be a drifter. Just, and man, they bring him into that jail, and like he's having all these flashbacks.
Yeah.
It's brutal. Like that part is almost scary.
In the
You know?
jail, when he's having the flashback to being a prisoner, like tied up in
Mhm.
Vietnam, he has like a really
Dude, I was gonna bring that
bad
up. The
mustache.
mustache.
I don't know
think
about the
that was so
mustache.
like, why did they give him that mustache?
yeah.
He couldn't shave, I
Like-
guess.
No, but it's like a handlebar village people mustache.
Yeah.
It's like, why?
It didn't fit.
No, not
They
at
did.
all. Not at all. I highly doubt anyone in Vietnam had a mustache like that. I could be wrong,
That's funny.
but
I
don't
didn't
know.
notice that. That's funny. Well, so do you think? So in the beginning, when the sheriff he first like makes contact with Rambo, do you think he thinks he's like a hippie, right? He doesn't know that he's like a vet, because I know back in the day, like after Vietnam, like hippies would wear the fatigues with like the flags on them, almost like mocking
Oh.
Uh-huh.
vets.
I don't
And
know.
he had long hair, as is the other thing.
I'm not entirely sure. I think he did kind of get the impression that he fought in Vietnam.
Yeah.
That's the impression I got.
Well, he's definitely like a jealous character. We were talking
yeah.
about it a little
Oh yeah.
off camera, off mic, but
Yeah.
they don't as explicitly say it in the movie, but I guess the sheriff's a Korean War veteran, and the Korean War and the Vietnam War are treated a lot differently. I mean, I think 15, 20 years before, they're like 15, 20 years apart. I think the Korean War,
The
'cause it's
Korean
right
War
after
was-
World War II.
Korean War was 50s, and
Yeah.
Vietnam started in the 60s. So
Yeah,
I think I think we were in Vietnam in the 50s. I don't think it really escalated until probably the early 60s. So
Yeah.
it might have been kind of closer than we
Closer
might
than we
think.
think, yeah.
I could be wrong though. I didn't look up on that.
Oh, it says Vietnam War 1955 till 1975.
There
well,
we
I know
go.
that. I don't know when the U.S. got involved, though. I know that, you know,
I think we were already putting
In the
people.
50s.
It was the
this is
you
Cold
know,
War era.
and communism.
Yeah, because we're fighting against China and in Vietnam and Korea too, actually, right? I mean,
The Red Menace.
the Soviet
Yeah.
Union and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I could see how the Korean War gets a little forgotten. It's a little different too, you know. I don't think when they came back from the Korean War, they were getting spit on and all that stuff.
No.
And that's pretty sad too, you know.
Yeah, it was a very different environment in our country.
Yeah,
Climate. It was a very different climate.
yeah. That So there's just all those mixed like feelings, and I'm sure if you watch it closer to 1982, those emotions are a lot more fresh. And you kind of get a better idea of what it all is about. But yeah, that's sad. Whether or not you agree with what's going on in the war, like it's always sad when people blame the troops, and Rambo even goes into that a little bit, like it wasn't my choice, it's not my war.
Yeah.
So yeah, all those good things that, or I don't know about good things, but they did a good job of diving into the emotions a little bit of that.
Yeah.
Along with action, running around in the forest. It's funny you said Sylvester Stallone said it's bleak. It's all foggy here today.
Yeah.
And has been for a couple days, and
Right.
I love this weather.
Oh,
But,
me too.
That's
That's
maybe
why I like this movie. I like the mood it sets. It's overcast. It's like it reminds me of Twin Peaks.
Yeah, definitely,
That
dude.
the little lumber town or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, I looked up the cast. The guy that's shaving Rambo, I can't remember his name in the
He's
movie.
he's in Twin Peaks.
He's Hawk in Twin Peaks. Yeah, the
He's
Native
not
American
Hawk.
dude.
No.
Oh, that's what it said. I thought at least.
No, he's not Hawk. He's I think it's Norma who runs the Double R Diner.
Uh-huh.
He's like her former love interest before.
Oh,
they
that's
were
cool.
Big Ed.
I thought it said Hawk, and I'm
No,
like, this guy is like
yeah,
him, because I
no.
remember watching Twin Peaks and like the Native American dude that's like the deputy or whatever.
Yeah, Hawk.
I was
yeah.
looking at him like, is this guy just like a white dude? I think it was, but I don't
No, he's legit Native
He's Native
American.
American.
Yeah, I forget the actor's name.
Yeah. But it definitely, you're right, it has that Twin Peaks vibe, and I do like the colors. It's probably more like blues and grays, but
Yeah, neutral.
yeah, greens.
Yeah.
That shot of like the gorge is really beautiful.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
especially if you grew up like how we grew up during the Afghanistan war,
Mhm.
all that you're getting in all our movies is desert, desert, desert,
True.
desert.
Yeah,
In our
true.
video games, you're getting desert.
Very true.
Yep.
And then you go back and visit this one from the 80s, and you're like, oh, this is actually really nice scenery. It's actually in an American town.
Yeah,
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it is
definitely.
cool. It's like our version of the jungles,
Yeah.
Instead, it's just crazy northwestern forest.
Yeah,
Which, when the police are trying to track down Rambo and they have the hounds, there's a certain scene when they release the hounds on him, and you can hear them basically dying.
yeah.
But then the cops, they drop to the ground and start just opening fire, and that reminded me a lot of like a Vietnam War scene
Yeah.
you would see in probably in Apocalypse Now or something.
Yeah.
Right.
And then I liked what John texted us. He said that this movie actually is almost like a horror film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
It's
kind of
From
interesting.
Yeah,
from the
like-
cops' perspective.
Yeah.
Jason
for
Voorhees picking people off in the woods. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Setting the booby traps,
Yep.
everything. It's
Yeah.
dark and thunderstorms and
Yeah.
all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mitch didn't want to do it. CSI guy.
He is the
God,
CSI guy,
what-
huh?
David
The orange haired
Caruso.
guy.
David
I think
Caruso,
this might have been his first movie.
Oh, okay.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just see him like putting on glasses and saying one-liners, but
Yeah.
he's definitely the most reasonable of all the cops. The
Definitely.
guy that dies is for sure.
God.
Well,
yeah.
I don't know. Actually, it's a tough competition between him and the sheriff, but those guys were assholes.
Yeah.
He kind of has from Escape from New York vibes.
Yeah.
Angel Eyes, what's his name?
Oh, Lee Van Cleef a little bit.
He has a bit
Yeah.
of Lee Van Cleef
Yeah, a
to
little
him.
bit. Yeah, I
Sadistic.
kind of I think almost this and Escape from New York could almost make a good double feature because it's around the same time, a lot of mood and men of few words
Yeah.
Mhm.
that are just just kind of there to get Snake's there to get a job done. Rambo's there just because he's passing through town. They don't really want to be there. They're just there. They don't really give a shit about what people think of them.
Yeah.
Kind of gruff, ex-soldiers,
Yep.
different genre. I think Escape from New York's almost kind of sci-fi.
Yeah.
Action and
Yeah,
action.
definitely.
It's
Not
like
a
sci-fi
lot of
It's in the
action, though.
future.
versus like war action.
Yeah.
It's like survival movie. This movie almost.
Yes.
Just-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Which this one, as well as Escape from New York, has a lot of influence. You can tell on Kojima when he makes Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah.
Oh,
Dude,
true,
the
yeah.
Colonel in this movie, he's like
The
just
Green
copy
Beret.
and paste it into
Green
Metal Gear
Beret.
Oh
Solid.
yeah,
Green Beret.
So sick.
Yeah. Colonel Troutman.
he's
I
in
like-
full. He shows up in full outfit and
Yeah.
everything. Got all his
Yeah.
brass on, his hat's
Yeah.
sideways.
God didn't make Rambo. I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a great
I
character.
That,
He's kind of the he's like the ringmaster for the lion that is Rambo. you
Yeah.
know?
yeah.
I like his line, don't forget one thing. A good supply of body bags.
Yeah, that's one of the greatest lines ever.
So sick.
You're saying 200 of our men can't go against your boy? If you're gonna send that many men, and just don't forget one thing: it's a good supply of body bags. The way he says it is great too.
Yeah, he has good delivery.
Supply of body bags.
Yeah, he's definitely like one of the most standout performances in this movie for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rambo was trained to eat things that make him really go puke.
Yeah.
Yes, like just the way he talks is great.
He was the best.
Yeah,
he does.
Worked for him for 3 years. Commanded him. A group of forces that were trained to be the best of the best.
I was looking at his resume, you know, what he's
Richard
done.
Crenna.
Yeah, he's like so many military roles and like officer and authority roles and stuff like that. It just seems like pretty natural for him.
He's in the original 3 Rambo movies, and he's in this Audrey Hepburn movie called Wait Until Dark. And I think those are the only movies I've seen him in off the top of my head. Oh, he's in this movie called Leviathan. That's pretty cool. It's like a kind of Thing alien ripoff. It takes place underwater.
Oh, cool.
It's a cool little 80s creature feature movie. And he's pretty good in that.
Sounds right up my alley, honestly.
Yeah, you should check it out.
Thing,
you should
alien.
check it out. It's I didn't really like it at first because I'm just like I'd rather watch Alien. I'd rather watch The Thing, but it works on its own merit after another watch. I actually think it's a pretty decent movie.
Mm-hmm. You know who else I saw? The guy that falls out of the helicopter. I recognize him, and I was trying to figure out where. I thought it was Wilford Brimley for a second. It's not. But he's in Blazing Saddles. He's the
What?
Yeah, he's like the dumb. What is he? He's not a sheriff or anything. I think he's just like the racist dude that gets like bonked over the head at the beginning when the guy's like hits him with the shovel and stuff. And he shows up later, and he's got like the wrap on his head. So he's kind of like got that comical role. In that movie.
I could see that. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah,
nice.
And you know, speaking of comedy, there is a little humor in this movie. I felt like one part that definitely stood out to me was near the end when Rambo he jacks the military like vehicle from the guy. He jumps on top and he goes in, and the guy's like looking at him. He's like, "Keep your eyes on the road. That's how accidents happen." Just like a random because he's been a man of few words for so long, and now this random guy he's just making jokes to.
Yeah,
maybe there's some respect because it's military or whatever, but
yeah, it could be.
I don't know. He wasn't respecting the other guys, those wonky National Guard members and stuff.
Yeah,
those guys are funny too.
Yeah, I'm not going over there.
Yeah, he's like, "Who's got the rocket launcher?" I do.
Yeah, the guy with the glasses. Yeah, looks like a 1980s college professor or something. He just does the National Guard on the weekend.
Yeah, he's like, "I gotta get back to the pharmacy."
Right,
that's right.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh damn, what's the sheriff's name?"
Sheriff Will Teasel.
Yeah.
Okay, he's like, "Damn it, Will, I gotta go to the store tomorrow." He's like, "Well, then I guess you should start cleaning this up right now." Yeah, throws his helmet down.
Clinton Morgan, I remember his name.
Clinton, yes.
Oh,
yeah,
that
right.
scene too, Ian. You always say it. You always say, "What a mess." And then the sheriff, he said it in this movie. He's looking at the rubble and he says, "What a mess."
See? Oh, that's great.
And I was wondering, did you get that from this movie?
Oh no, I got that. Well, it's a common saying.
Yeah.
It's 3 words.
But like your delivery, you always deliver just like the sheriff.
Oh, that's funny.
Sheriff Teasel.
Dude, I watched it with the Sylvester Stallone commentary, and the subtitles on my Blu-ray are fucking terrible. I don't know. So it's the people that distributed it, the Studio Canal, they're from France. So I think they might have just transferred the English into like more French the way they say stuff, because like they don't even say in the when he goes, "They drew first blood, not me." The subtitles say like, "They made the first attack, not me," or they took the first mark, not me. I'm like, what the hell is
that's
this?
weird.
So I might have missed out on some stuff. Unfortunately, I should have gone back and watched it without the commentary.
Which when he said that line, I pointed at the screen like Leonardo DiCaprio. He said it.
Yeah.
He said the line.
Yeah.
He said
That's
the thing.
Family Guy, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, he said it. That's a great line too. They drew first blood, not me.
Yeah. Did they draw first blood? Because
well,
he fell and bled.
Well, they drew first blood in the sense that they kept pushing him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why you pushing him?
Why you pushing? Yeah, don't push. Don't poke the bear.
Yeah, really.
Don't mess with the bull. You'll get the horns.
Yeah, that's another badass scene when he does draw his own first blood and he falls down and jumps at the cliff and he's sewing up like his own. He pulls out like the bottom of his knife and just sewing up his arm. I was just like, woo.
Yeah.
That's metal. Like
yeah,
he doesn't feel pain.
Yeah, yeah. He falls in a tree and hits like branch after branch after branch, and I think Stallone, a stunt double did it for a few branches, and then Stallone did a few more, and he actually broke his ribs when he landed on one of the branches. It's like, ooh,
yeah.
that's gotta hurt.
Yeah, it was brutal, and I thought a little more, somewhat realistic, you know, for an action movie. Like, you know, he didn't just like jump on and like grab a branch and he's fine. Like, he actually hits, boom, 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 because he's just a human.
Exactly.
Just a regular dude. Well,
Yeah.
not regular. He's a Green Beret, the best of the best. But
he's actually taking damage in this film and patching himself up, whereas Arnold Schwarzenegger is just sitting there with the big old machine gun gunning down hundreds of dudes, not taking a single bullet.
yeah, infinite ammo cheats and stuff. Rambo runs out of ammo, like changes guns a few times. And,
Right.
Yeah. That scene, another badass scene, is when he's in the cave and like he's walking and all the rats are on him.
That was a good one. I like that scene.
Yeah, like, you know, just the resourcefulness and
Very Tomb Raider-y. I feel like I've seen that in some of the newer Tomb Raider games.
yeah, and I was getting claustrophobic just watching.
Yeah.
But I think that's supposed to make you feel a little uncomfortable. Like, but look at Rambo. He doesn't give a fuck.
That's what he's used to. Yeah.
And then the rats jump on him. He's like, oh!
Yeah, I know. That was the most scared he was.
Yeah.
Was the rats.
Yeah.
Have you heard of like the rat torture where they like put the rats up to your belly and they like put, you know, a pot or something so they can't get out, and then they heat up the pot so the rats, like, the only way out is through your belly?
Claw through.
I
Yeah.
think so. That's
Jeez.
That's
Louise.
I don't know if they did that in Vietnam, but you know, that's one of those old world really fucked up tortures.
Yeah, that's
Maybe that's why he's more scared of the rats.
Yeah, that's
Maybe.
kind of what I was thinking. Like,
Yeah.
oh, maybe they use some rats to do something.
Maybe, yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, yeah. They started fucking with him. Don't fuck with the guy.
That's
Fuck
it.
with him really bad too.
Yeah,
God.
yeah. It instantly, like, you know, Wilford Brimley, but not dollar store.
Yeah,
Wilford Brimley.
yeah.
You know,
Cheap.
he's just like, Rambo's not saying anything to him, and he's just like, "You're gonna talk to me, boy." And,
Yeah.
like, it's like instantly aggressive and
Yep.
and abusive. I don't know the word, but
They gave him the fire hose, too. Just
Yeah,
hosing him
yeah.
down.
Yeah.
brutal.
That's gotta hurt. I'm sure. A lot of pressure.
And they were charging him with vagrancy, because I was wondering. They say it later in the movie, but like that's just, I guess that's not a thing now, or maybe it's because we live in California, they don't do that as much. But I was just like, what is he doing? He's just walking through town. He just wants something to eat,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, I like when he's like, yeah, there's a diner about 30 miles north of here.
Yeah.
Or 30 miles up the highway. He's like, is there a law against me eating here?
He says, yeah, me.
Yeah, me. That's another great line when he picks out all the guys and then he finally gets Sheriff Will, what's his last name again? Try
Teasel, I think.
Teasel, thank you. He gets him up against the tree with the knife. And then he goes, you know, in town you're the law, out here it's me.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what, you're in my domain now.
Yeah.
Like I'm the king out here.
And then he definitely took it personally after that, the sheriff. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess he already did, because at that point the deputy had already died falling out of the helicopter.
Just
But
tells him, let it go.
let it go.
Let
Yeah, that's a good
turn away and slam the door.
Let it go.
line.
We haven't talked about the opening scene.
I was just going to say that.
Yeah.
Oh, true.
I'll let you.
The
I'll let
credit
you.
scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's looking for his buddy Delmar
Yeah.
from the war. I guess
Yep.
they were stationed together, or they went on a couple missions together. And he meets a lady. I don't know if that's like his wife or his mom or
Pretty sure it's
what.
his wife, I think. Well, I've always been under the impression it was his wife, but it could be, yeah, maybe it is his mom.
Yeah,
about
I
that.
couldn't tell. But then he says, "Have you seen Delmar? He's out. He's gone. Where's he going?"
Yeah, he's like, you know, what time would be back?
Yeah. And then she says that he brought back cancer from Vietnam from that orange stuff, which we could probably assume was Agent Orange,
yeah.
which was a huge problem for the vets back then when they came back.
Yep.
They would
Tons
just
of people
breed
died.
that. I believe wasn't Agent Orange like dropped from planes
Yeah.
to eliminate the forest?
Yes.
That way the Vietnam couldn't,
The
the Viet
couldn't-
Cong couldn't
yeah.
hide.
Yeah. It was like that and like napalm strikes.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, just indiscriminately too, pretty much. I mean,
Yeah.
they're like, if they die, they die. Messed up, man. Yeah, there's some pretty bad atrocities in that war,
Yeah.
and so
Oh yeah.
this is a good movie. That's a good war to highlight some of that. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like not to diminish, but our wars in like the Middle East that we've had in the past 20 years just aren't on the same scale. Not nearly as many people dying. They're much more tactical. I know a lot about like World War II, in the Pacific especially, and like that's the same terrain as Vietnam. They're not fighting in Vietnam, but they're fighting in those same islands, and just like it is just the horror stories are crazy. Like being in like foxholes at night and hearing like 50, 40 feet away, like your buddy getting killed, but you can't leave. And there's stories of like, people coming into the foxholes and then like they kill them, and then in the morning they find out like it's their own guy.
Oh, Jesus.
And so just that fear and paranoia and stuff. And I think all that was going on in Vietnam as well.
Yeah.
I'm
sure.
They would sneak behind enemy lines, and it's that guerrilla warfare. There's a lot more places to hide in the jungle, I think, than the desert. So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, then you take it back home and you're in the forest, and all of a sudden Rambo is the Viet Cong, and but he has all those skills. And whew. Yeah, when I think as a kid I must have missed that beginning part or something, because I always thought he committed suicide. I thought it was just implied that his buddy committed suicide, because he says like he brought it back with them. But then, I also can't understand Sylvester Stallone sometimes. He actually says it to his lieutenant when he's on the walkie-talkie, like, cancer ate him to the bone.
Yeah, because the Troutman doesn't know that guy's dead.
No, he's like, he made it. He's good.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I always thought he committed suicide, and I thought that was just speaking more to, like, the PTSD of it all.
Right.
I think
shell shock, as they might have called it.
Right.
Doesn't Stallone say he died in Vietnam and he didn't even know it or something crazy like that? That's a good line, too.
That is, and that's true for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Going back to the World War II thing, there's a lot of vets that afterwards like wouldn't even talk.
Yep.
Yeah. Ugh.
Well, I see the beginning scene to me is very important, sort of John Rambo's character, because that's the only time in this movie you see him with a smile on his face. He's kind of being jovial with the chick, and he's like, yeah, I got all these pictures here. That's him in the back. We had to put him in the back because he was so big, he would have taken up the whole picture. I got all this junk in my pocket. That's the only time in this movie where he's actually in a good mood.
True, yeah.
Only time. And then when he learns that, I've never really thought much of this until I listened to the commentary. Sylvester Stallone points out he throws like an address book in the fire and that's just kind of just like,
letting go.
Yeah, no, that's just like him just like throwing it away, and he's not the same after that in the whole movie.
No, right.
He's just withdrawn. He just kind of is walking around.
When does he throw the address book in the fire?
When he's walking away from the chick, when he's leaving.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
He hands her the picture too of his
squad. Yeah, he lets her keep the picture, which was cool.
But that is sad, he says because then he could at least had somebody to talk to.
Exactly.
He says, I don't talk to people for sometimes days, weeks.
Yeah.
It's like they can't connect.
Exactly.
Like at least his buddy probably could have.
Yeah.
And this isn't 2020. You can't just call him up. He had to actually like make his way there, and
and he even said, this is a hard place to find.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he had previously been to Fort Bragg to try and find,
the colonel.
The colonel, yeah, but he was like, I'm signing a seat down in Washington with my ass.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, he was clearly like looking to reach out.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a good point. It does show a lot about his like character and who he is.
Yeah, he's not the same at all after that.
No. Drive my Chevy around Las Vegas.
Yeah. Yeah, he's just either emotionally withdrawn or an emotional wreck after that.
Right. Shut off.
Yeah.
I think it's a pretty cool way to open a movie, though.
Yeah. Yeah,
looking for his Vietnam friend.
I like that setting too. They're like on the edge of like a lake.
Yeah.
Cool.
Looked like Heidi, in Switzerland. Something like that. Sound of Music type environment.
Just great cinematography.
Yeah. This movie had great cinematography.
Very well shot.
Yeah.
Another shot I really liked is when the sheriff drives him over the bridge and out of town. There's like a great side shot of him getting out of the car, and there's the lights from the police car. You got the snowy mountains in the background.
Yeah.
You have John Rambo in his green fatigues, and then like the blue car.
Yeah.
Great shot.
Yeah.
Beautiful shot.
I think that's when we get introduced to the knife when he's arresting him.
Oh yeah, right after he like tries to walk away back over to the town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pulls out the knife.
Hunting.
I like that. Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, bullshit. We hunt with a knife like this. Name it.
Yeah.
A man of few words.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do think I'm wearing a Predator shirt, and I did feel some similarities to Predator. I think we talked about it a little in Commando.
Yeah.
How you were saying, like, your Carlos, your film professor, would always say, like, look at how the times kind of shaped the films that you're watching. And Predator, I think, is definitely also like a post-Vietnam type movie. It kind of builds on that fear of, like, the unknown within the jungle. And so, now just a different setting. But he definitely does feel like the Predator at some parts. Like when the lightning cracks and it's like that fake silhouette he put out, and he's taking all the dudes and stuff.
They're like, it's a scarecrow. It's just a scarecrow.
Yeah. I like that.
So I kind of got like those vibes from this movie as well. Just, it's its own thing, definitely. But you could see some parallels there, I think.
I think since this was so early in the 80s, I think that's why it kind of has a different feel, because we weren't totally yet gung-ho on Ronald Reagan's freedom fighters down in South America.
Right.
And because to me, politically, this is a lot different than other 80s action movies too.
Yeah.
I think this I don't know. That's just the impression I've always got from this movie. It's really, even from going from this one to the second one, and I like the second one. I think it's a good sequel. It's very different though, and that's all kind of like we're winning. We're winning this time in Vietnam. Like, it's kind of like we're going there, like, and we're going back to Vietnam. We're gonna win this time. He even says in the first part of the movie when Troutman visits him at his little chain gang breaking rocks encampment, and he's asking him to go back to Vietnam for missing POWs, and he goes, "Colonel, do we get to win this time?"
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, to me, that line's a little like, well, what?
That's almost like a kid, like, saying,
like,
"Can we
you
get
to win
McDonald's this
Well,
time?"
I mean,
he does mention that in his breakdown in the first movie, when he's like, I tried to win, they wouldn't let me win. Somebody wouldn't let us win.
And it's like, I've always been told that was an unwinnable war. We're kind of pissing in other people's pools. Like, it's not really our conflict. Even though I'm sure the soldiers were indoctrinated to think that.
For sure.
Yeah, it's just very, and we were only, so this came out in 82. I think they started shooting it at 81 and finished it in 82. And, we're still about 2 years removed from Jimmy Carter in the 70s, which was very different politically than the 80s. Like, really, really, that's the thing. Like, going from decade to, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s, now, each decade really kind of changes. There's always kind of a different wind that comes in, and with each administration, and kind of changes the feel from the previous one. I think this was so, not to get too political, but I think this was still so early in Reagan's presidency that it still kind of felt almost like the 70s in a way.
Definitely.
I mean, that's the impression I get. And maybe that's why I like it. I don't know.
Yeah, there's still...
It's ironic, because I like Predator a lot too. I like going into a little jungle camp and blowing the shit out of it, and just sticking people against the wall with a knife. And
when we
stick around,
and Commando, same thing. Just Schwarzenegger going in, just blowing the hell out of this little island.
When we covered Predator in class, he pointed out that the Iran-Contra affair was going on around that time.
Yeah, exactly.
So it has to do with all those guerrilla fighters down there in South America.
Yeah. There's just something about that, that by the time Predator comes around, and even Rambo, or First Blood, I mean, we're pretty familiar with the idea of guerrilla warfare and how terrifying that can be to be on ground level.
Yeah.
So even those of us that haven't been there, I think we understand this shit's scary.
Yeah.
So.
And they kind of, Rambo became that.
Yeah, it does, right? Eventually.
Yeah. And I think that's why I like this one the best, because I think that's why people like Die Hard. Bruce Willis is just kind of a average guy. He's a cop, but he's a normal dude. He gets hurt. He gets the glass in his feet and is bleeding everywhere. They have yet to become the superheroes.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, they're just human.
Adds to the movie.
Yeah,
and nothing wrong with the superhero blowing shit up, but it's also kind of cool. It's just the relatability.
Yeah,
seeing the everyman.
Yeah,
through it.
And I feel like I've had dreams where I'm like in Rambo's situation, just running from all the dogs and like the National Guard, and
Oh,
you're
yeah.
going through and you're on a bike and you're driving
And
through
that,
the forest.
oh, that's great too. The bite when he's on the motorcycle.
Yeah.
That was a good
that's
chase
a great
scene.
little sequence.
It was a
yeah.
pretty long one too.
Yeah, and it's really well done.
Yeah.
Really
Right
well
before
done.
he jumps on the motorcycle, though, he's escaping the prison or the police station.
In which one?
Oh, in First Blood.
Oh, okay. I thought you said the fourth one.
Oh, sorry.
I remember that.
But he's escaping the prison, and there's a sheriff carrying boxes. He's like, "Hey, wait, what are you doing?" And then Rambo just goes up and leg sweeps him and
Yes.
knocks him
Yeah.
over. I
The
don't know
leg.
why. That was just so funny to me.
Yeah, those sheriffs on the upstairs floor. I mean, the deputies or whatever. They were so ineffective.
I like when
Yeah.
he throws the one guy out the window.
Yeah.
Slow-mo. I like
Yeah.
that shot a lot. That shot's cool.
That was like that was like quintessential 80s to me. Like, you know, the sound effects and everything, like the glass breaking, like "Wah!"
Yeah, I thought that was
Tossed
pretty
out.
cool.
That was good.
I like the sound too of the something about the bike is just very satisfying.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And also the way he like, I was telling Carlos, like GTA like steals the guy's
Oh
bike.
yeah.
did.
Yeah, that's very GTA. Yeah.
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 My bike now.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Gets away too.
Yeah. And then the sheriff's chasing him the whole way and going through jumps and puddles and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, the car was just getting turfed the whole time
For
before it
real?
eventually just
Yeah.
flips over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stallone said that wasn't supposed to happen, and they kept it in anyway.
Whoa.
Yeah, and they put the actor because the stunt dude was driving the car when it flipped, and then they put the actor in after that to make it.
So he could
to make it
crawl
actually- Yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the sheriff got pretty beat up in that movie too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually kind of like the sheriff, even though he's the antagonist of the movie. I still he just plays it so well.
Yeah.
He's just, he just
Because
it just works.
he's also like, don't shoot down the
Right,
street because
yeah,
they're
hold your
civilians.
fire,
They're
God damn it.
civilians.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. Hold your fire, God damn it. Yeah,
Or
there's a
I
lot
want
of
him
that.
alive.
Yeah,
all
and he's
kinds of
trying to
stuff.
reel back in the guy that ended up dying. I think his name's Art.
Yeah,
Yeah.
God damn it, Art! Like answer
Yeah,
me. He's
yeah,
calling him on the
yep.
walkie.
yeah,
Hold your fire.
yeah.
And then even like when he gets to the National Guard, he's telling them the same thing. I think at that point it's more because it's like personal. He wants to beat
Yeah.
the shit out of Rambo
Yeah,
or something. But
yeah,
yeah, no, he definitely like humanizes, or I don't know, personal. What am I trying to say? Like he just sort of internalizes that and takes it personally about Rambo, and he wants himself. And I love the whole scene at the end with the town blowing it up, and when he's on the rooftop just looking for him, and ends up getting shot and falling through the skylight and all that.
Yeah.
And you see him at the end. He didn't. I don't think he's dead.
no.
They're
I don't think
wheeling
he's-
because
yeah.
is he looking at
I
Rambo?
think so. They
Yeah.
kind of give each other a last glance.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Rambo won. I mean, hey, that's what they said would happen.
Yep.
And Rambo just like walks out. I mean, he's in handcuffs, but
Yeah.
you definitely still feel like he won.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like Troutman's kind of like he's like, like what are we supposed to do? Just like let him go. He'll turn up working at a gas station in a few months. Pick him up then.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like Jesus Christ. Like that's the best solution out of this.
Yeah.
Just let him go and worry about it months from now.
Yeah.
Like, boy, this guy's fucking like that's even more so. Like, just stop fucking with this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's, maybe I should retract the relatability because yeah, that's not relatable, but at the same time, I guess maybe the relatability for me comes in there just some guy walking through town just want to get something to eat. But he's not he is a incredibly trained ex Green Beret.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is a very
Relatable to an extent. for sure,
Yeah, yeah.
None of us are trained.
Yeah. Yeah, not to that level, that's for sure.
There's another great shot after he falls from the cliffside and the helicopter's trying to get him. He's like taking cover behind a tree, and just behind him you could see the helicopter going back and forth,
Yeah.
trying to shoot at him.
And the camera's like panning side to
Yeah.
side, or not panning.
Very video game-esque.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
And then he just takes a rock and takes it out.
Yeah,
The
I
Rock
know.
that killed a guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't mean it. I didn't
Yeah.
mean to.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he tries to. Yeah, he's like, I don't want anybody.
Any more dead? Technically, nobody
I'm a
does
fool.
that we
Yeah.
know of. I mean, I think like when the cops are chasing him and he's in that, what would you even call that? Like, it's not a Humvee, but I used to have them like with my little army man sets, those
Yeah,
big supply like trucks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And then when he kind of runs the cops into like that other car and it just blows up.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Was it some couple in there like making out?
For real. That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah. Who knows? But yeah, and then plus all the havoc he wreaks on the town at the end. But still, technically, as far as we know, the body count is just one. And like you said, it's not really his fault.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy was trying to kill him.
Yeah, exactly.
He was shooting
Yeah.
to kill. So
Yeah, that guy. Yeah, he wanted blood.
yeah, he did. He
He's out for blood.
was an asshole for sure.
Yeah.
With his little baton.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh boy.
I was glad to see him get beat up in the jail escape.
Yeah. A lot of like I like how like later on in the movie there's one guy with like two like black eyes and a broken nose and like a cast.
Yeah, I
Holy
feel like every
shit.
time I saw him, it got worse.
Yeah. Like, man, these guys got fucked up.
Yeah,
These guys got really fucked up.
don't mess with Rambo, man.
Yeah.
I think after the cops fail with the hounds, there's the National Guard gets deployed, and they're all setting up camp and everything. You see a bunch of trucks mobilizing, and then it pans over to a news guy from the media,
Yeah.
and he's kind of putting his own spin on it, like crazed man is in the mountains.
news.
Yeah,
Yeah.
attacking these wonderful officers, basically. And
Yeah, they're like only due to the diligence and trained
Right.
professionals.
He makes them look good. It's like these guys are fucking broken and battered and bruised. And
Yeah.
yeah,
yeah, they're
Super
not looking
effective.
too good right now.
yeah.
Rambo definitely has the upper hand.
That was kind of cool seeing the fake news, like Ian said.
The spin on it. Maybe that's a little tied into the propaganda of wartime and all that
Yeah.
stuff too. You know,
Could be,
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, very well could be.
wartime propaganda. Yeah.
Should we get into like our favorite? I mean, we kind of talked about favorite scenes, but can we get maybe more into that? Maybe like our favorite
Yeah.
characters.
You start, Ian.
Which we start with scenes or characters?
Characters.
My favorite character's got to be Rambo.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I really like Troutman. I even do kind of like the sheriff.
Mhm.
But I do, Rambo's. John Rambo.
Thinking about it now, we don't really have like a love interest
Yeah,
or let
and I think
alone
that's
any
cool.
women in this film, I
Yeah.
don't think.
And I think that's cool. I
There,
think
there
that's-
actually are like no women coming.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
now that I
mean,
think of it.
hopefully that doesn't come
Some of the
across as
secretaries.
sexist. But I think that's refreshing. Rambo doesn't, because they do that in the second movie.
Oh, really? He has a love interest?
Yeah, and and I think that's kind of refreshing. I don't think every movie needs a ham-fisted love interest. I mean, nothing's wrong with that, but at the same time, it's kind of refreshing to me when it's not in
Definitely.
there. It's like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've harped on that on here before, talking about like
Yeah,
why do we
exactly.
need?
Yeah,
Is it marketing? Like
yeah, I'm sure.
Sex sells?
yeah. Do they
Yeah.
have some people like come in and say like we need a woman so that you can attract like the
Exactly.
18 to 25
yeah,
female
yeah.
audience.
Research shows that
Yeah,
profit goes up 25%
Right.
when there's a love angle.
no, there's no need for it.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Test audiences read on the back of the card that they want a love interest, so we gotta go insert that in.
I saw that the original cut of this movie was like 3 hours long or something like that.
I was gonna
Oh,
bring
wow.
that up.
Yeah, they cut it down. I wonder
Yeah.
if maybe there was some of that in there. You know,
I don't think
Rambo
so.
meets like his old squad mates, like mom or wife or whatever, and is like, "Well, what about me and you?" You know? It's-
I don't know what they
I-
cut out. It might have been just more kind of. I don't know what they cut out. I would like to kind of see that, but Stallone apparently thought it was awful and wanted the movie
really?
not even to be released.
He's like, "Don't put me in this."
Yeah, he said it made him nauseous.
Oh God.
What?
Yeah, he said it
Oh,
was
from
awful.
having everything cut?
From
No, the
before.
3-hour cut. He thought it was awful and unreleasable, and he wanted to destroy the original negative.
I thought
Whoa.
the time and the pacing on this movie was perfect.
Yes,
Hour and a half long.
Yeah.
What more do you need?
doesn't
you know?
overstay its welcome. Yeah.
Yeah, more shots of just Rambo walking down. I mean, it's pretty and all, but worked out fine. I think.
Yeah, it did. And that's one thing Stallone brings up in the commentary that I think is very important and gets forgot about when people talk about film and movies is a lot of it comes from editing.
Mhm.
Like Star Wars was apparently the same thing. It was just a mess. It was a mess. Or the editors came in and kind of made it more watchable, and they actually won an Academy Award for that.
Oh,
for
wow.
editing.
And it's editing plays a big factor into how a movie turns out.
Yeah.
And I
Definitely.
think a lot of people brush that off or don't even acknowledge that.
Yeah, the editing in like Halloween was really good.
Yeah.
That was the last movie.
Yeah. It's a big, you know, and it can also be a reason why some movies don't work. It's because it's too long, it's too drawn out, or it
Awkward
can
cuts.
really it can really help or hurt a movie. I think that goes to show how powerful editing is in film.
For sure.
I think I interrupted you though. You were saying Rambo's your favorite character.
Yeah, Rambo's. I like Troutman too. I like the scene where he's at the bar and Will Teasel comes in and they share a drink and kind of bond for a little bit. I like the waitress too. She's rocking the sideways ponytail.
Yeah.
I was like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Like Deb from Napoleon Dynamite. Fuck yeah.
Right.
Even the lights in the background of the bar too. It just made for a really pretty scene.
And that's like dude. I've been to that bar like up in our foothills. It's like that's like a bar go after work and have a drink.
Yeah.
It's like I thought that was cool too. And then Troutman's just in there in his green beret outfit. It's just like that's fucking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Right on. And I like how the sheriff Teasel he asks like he doesn't ask but like he kind of goes Colonel, and he's just like sit down. Like he doesn't engage. He just kind of waits for approval, which I thought was kind of cool too. It's
Right.
like kind of showing respect.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was nice.
he comes in initially apologetic.
Yeah, and that's what I think is interesting about the sheriff. He's not just a one-note villain. It's like he can kind of get where he's coming from in a way. I mean, it's tough because he is being a prick.
Yeah.
But
Well, because then
when you understand the Korean War background, that kind of explains a little bit.
Mhm.
But yeah, just not one note. He's got layers.
Yeah.
He's got layers.
Yeah, I think Troutman sort of susses him out too, because he's like, you thought you wanted him for yourself, or whatever he
Yeah,
says, and he's like,
right.
yeah, like he feels cheated that the National Guard did that, and he wanted to get Rambo, and it's personal for him, So
Yeah, I think Troutman's kind of the Obi-Wan Kenobi, the Gandalf of this movie in a way.
Yeah,
Kind of
Definitely. Yeah.
the wise one.
Yeah.
definitely, yeah.
The only
one.
one who can control his boy.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. But what about
Keeps the story moving.
Roman? Who's your favorite character?
Well, I was thinking there's not a lot of characters, which is
That's a good point.
nice.
Yeah, that's true.
There's
That's a
probably
really good
like
point,
a
actually.
dozen named characters. and
Yeah,
everything.
that's a good point.
But that's fine. You don't need a lot of characters, and also
Right.
the setting is kind of a character of itself.
That's a great point.
Yeah. But I think maybe kind of on the fringes of the characters, I liked Mitch Crusoe's guy. Is that his name? The CSI dude.
David
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 Crusoe.
Crusoe,
David
yeah.
Crusoe, who plays Mitch.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. He's a ginger, so I give him points.
Very relatable.
Yeah, very
I didn't
relatable for
even
me.
think of that. That's
No,
great.
but I just like that he was the more sympathetic of the officers. You kind of have that duality right there between him and then the guy that dies, Art, of just like sadistic versus like more understanding. And he's still not like, he's like, can't you see this guy is crazy? He's not exactly like stopping anything, but at least he's having second thoughts. And I like when they're walking through the woods before they all get ambushed, and like, he's kind of like saying, I don't think we should do this. Like, we shouldn't go after him. He's kind of the only one that sees clearly in that sense.
And it's interesting because he's like the youngest of them.
Yeah, definitely. He seems like the green, police officer. And
Yeah.
he's like, even when they're I think, I don't remember when exactly, but in the jail scene before Rambo escapes, he walks away at one point. Like, he just can't. He's like, no, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
And then he's gonna fight like one of his other deputies at one point. And
Yeah.
he's like, "What are you scared?" And he's like, "Come on, put your gun down. I'll show you scared."
Yeah.
And I think he ends up still getting like pushed down.
Okay.
But yeah, I liked him. He brought some layers to the sheriff's department there.
Yeah. Yeah. Great point.
Yeah, not necessarily a villain, but not an ally to Rambo either.
Right.
So
Kind of the middleman almost in a way.
yeah.
Yeah.
So on the periphery, of course I love Rambo and Troutman, and I do
Yeah.
like the sheriff too. But that would probably be one of my sort of lesser known, I guess you could say,
Yeah.
picks for my favorite character.
Yeah.
What do you think, Carlos?
Yeah.
I thought that the sheriff who was being a bully to Rambo and shooting at him from the helicopter, he was a pretty good bad guy.
Yeah. Because that really big voice.
Yeah. And he just seemed like a real jerk. Like he actually really wanted to just bring pain for no good reason.
Yeah, he was very sadistic.
Yeah.
Yeah, what does he say? If you want trouble, you came to the right place.
Yeah. He is a good, like, imposing figure.
For sure.
But yeah, I would have to probably give it to Colonel Troutman. Just for the Metal Gear Solid references and everything. He has all those great lines, like you said.
He's got the best lines. I mean, Stallone, I like a lot of Stallone's lines too.
Yeah.
Troutman, I mean, again, body bags. That's such a great fucking line.
Yeah.
The way he delivers the good supply of body.
Yeah,
It's
all
like,
the all
so
those lines
great.
are delivered well.
Yeah. So great.
He only has one goal: to win by attrition.
Yes. Yeah. He doesn't understand pain, weather.
Yeah, and then like doesn't it a little right after that like cut to the shot of them like got first light coming in, and then he's just like in the river, the freezing cold river, like pulls himself out just to drive it home. Like this guy does not care. He just killed a boar, or I don't know if he killed the boar. Yeah, he had.
It's cool. Like he's got a spear and he like jumps down on it.
Yeah, and it's off camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's just walking with the like paunch.
Yeah.
Or, I mean,
caveman.
Rambo, man. There's a reason we refer to people as like Rambo, going Rambo.
For real.
I was gonna wear a headband here, but I forgot.
No. Like a canvas cut out from
like moldy canvas.
Yeah. Tied around with wire. Around. What about like some of your like if you don't have a favorite scene, like some of your favorite scenes?
So I already said the two where he's getting out of the cop car across the bridge, amazing shot. The other one where the helicopter's kind of stalking him and shooting at him while he's on the ground, amazing video game shot. And then the third one I would have to say is right when Rambo crawls out of the mine shaft, he exits the hole and it pans over, and he's like looking over the ledge, and behind him is all the military like mobilizing and getting ready to leave pretty much, and you could see like dudes marching out of the forest and stuff. Another just great video game cinematic shot.
Yeah, that does feel like a video game, like the start of a level.
Start of a level and then you start taking over and mowing people down or whatever you gotta do.
Out of the fly truck.
What you run?
Favorite scenes, I definitely like the jailhouse escape.
I think I have a lot of things in the jail. I like when they're trying to get his fingerprints.
Oh yeah.
And like the guys are like, no, roll it. You're gonna don't do it like that. And then he starts wiping the ink. Rambo starts wiping the ink off. Don't leave the ink on your hand. And then he just sticks another down.
Rambo's
like an idiot almost. So funny. He's not saying anything. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, it's okay. That's a good point. That I had forgotten about that. That's another like sort of humorous thing. Them talking and just like all the while he's just trying to like wipe his hands.
Right.
And he just has this somber.
He's
He's got a look on his face. He's like Lenny or something. Or, But yeah, the fighting out or fighting his way out, and it's like one by one, kind of he's able to just. Well, actually, not at the beginning. He fights off like 2 or 3 dudes at once. But then, I like how he like gets up on the bar and like 2-foot kicks the sheriff as he like walks out, and then
that's a good one.
and then throws that guy through the window after the guy opens it up, and he's able to fight a couple more dudes in there, sweep the leg, and then even out into getting into the street. And I would say that's probably about the end of that before that switches over into the motorcycle chase, the dirt bike. But yeah, like ending with him GTA style. I would have been. I've played the Grand Theft Auto games a bunch, and I know that, like, if you're in front of a motorcycle, he does, like, a flying 2-foot kick, and, like, he'll knock the person off the motorcycle and just land on it. I wonder if that's ever been done in a movie.
That'd be cool.
I don't think Rambo would do it necessarily. Maybe, like, Bruce Lee or something. But anyway, So that was probably, if it's not my favorite scene, it's definitely up there.
Nice.
Yeah, I also like any of the chase scenes through the forest, and that feeling of being hunted, and he is like the prey, but at the same time he's the predator. It's just pretty cool. He finds that little kid, and, like, puts a knife on him for a second.
Yeah, that's a good scene. Yeah. Stallone said in the original script that he kills like the kid and like
Oh,
innocent
Jesus.
people. Yeah.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, it's
there
like,
are no innocents.
yeah, it's like I'm glad they kind of took that out. That would've been-
Yeah.
that might have been a bit much.
Yeah, it makes him a little less sympathetic.
Yeah,
Because,
yeah.
you know, I mean, you're sympathetic, but then it is kind of strange that he, at first, you know, he just wants to, like, get out. But at the point when he, like, takes the supply truck and runs the cop off the road, he could have left. I mean, I don't really know. Maybe he had to drive back through town. But it seemed like he chose to go back to town because he's, like, pissed at this point. Like, you messed with me. Like, you told me, or I told you not to take this war, and now we got it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I wonder if he could have just left. That could have been the end of the movie, and it wouldn't have been a good
Yeah.
ending. But
Yeah.
you know, he's just like, "See ya."
Yeah.
But yeah, I think if he had killed the kid, you definitely have a lot less sympathy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
for
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was smart to not
yeah,
to choose not to
yeah.
kill innocent.
But
children.
but you still see him like wrestle with it, and that makes you
Yeah,
It again
yeah.
reminds you of like
I think that's enough.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because you know if he talks about the kid that blew up his buddy
Right. Yeah.
with the shine box, you know. So
Yeah.
like if you're in the middle of Vietnam and you trap like a kid, you don't know if he's like a little Viet Cong agent. So maybe he kind of had to think for that for a
Right.
second.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah,
Didn't
there's
think
all
about
that. There's all that depth to it, but
Definitely.
you leave it open for interpretation. Whereas if he kills the kid, I feel like there's a little more like, ooh, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are some of my favorite scenes for sure. The chase, and anything with the chase, and then the jail escape was just kind of badass.
Yeah, definitely.
What about you, Ian?
I like the beginning, the very first shot, you know, and you know, again, I think it's really important to Rambo's character throughout this movie. I like the ending as well. I like the third act. You know, he like goes and blows up a gas station. I thought that was cool.
Yep.
Everything.
gun store.
When Troutman finally. Oh, well, actually, I'll go back. I like when he and Troutman are talking on the radio.
Hmm.
I thought that was a good scene.
Oh yeah.
You know, of course, the jail. You guys already said, you know, the jailhouse, the scenes of the National Guard and everything, all those landscape shots. But you know, the third act and the endings, I think, are very great scenes. And when he kind of has this breakdown,
Mm-hmm.
like,
His breakdown's really good.
yeah.
Mhm.
Like I think I've told you guys before, but for years, I even did it the other night when the Baltimore Ravens and Miami Dolphins game was over. Whenever someone says something's over, I go, "Nothing is over, nothing." Like that's like when Troutman's just saying, "Come on, John, it's over," and that's when he just like snaps and says like the most he's said since the first scene of the movie, pretty much.
Yeah.
Right.
And just goes into a spiel about basically how awful he feels,
Yeah.
you know, and how awful he was treated.
He's the last one of his squad.
Yeah, and like all this awful moments he had in Vietnam and everything, and how he breaks down. And they actually, the original ending of the movie is he kills himself in that scene. They
Oh
actually shot it.
Jesus.
I
Wow.
don't know if that was the original ending of the 3-hour cut or not.
Troutman's just like, damn.
Yeah. And it's like, well, we can't get sequels off of this, so we need to have a rib, man. You can't go back to Vietnam and Afghanistan and all the other sequels if you kill yourself. So, yeah, they went and reshot. And I like the ending a lot, too, when they're just walking and the credits are playing.
Mm-hmm.
And
Like,
the song.
Yeah, I think that's really great. And they just kind of look, and then it freeze frames.
Yeah.
I like that.
It reminds me of like when they cheer and they're like,
It's like
in the middle of
or
it.
like almost like a sitcom kind of thing.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that a lot. I think that was like the perfect way to end this movie. Is just Troutman just taking him back,
Mm-hmm.
you know, taking him to jail.
And during his breakdown too, he has that story that Roman was talking about, the shoe shine box
Yeah.
exploding. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
Yeah.
I went to go grab a couple drinks at the bar, and the next thing I know,
yeah, it's like my buddy's there's blood and everything, and my buddy's all over me, and he's over there, and he's over, you know. It's
Yeah.
like
my
Jesus
buddy's.
Christ.
Nobody's helping
Yeah,
me.
yeah, nobody will help, man.
Because at first, yeah, I mean, I realized that he's in like a Vietnamese bar. So yeah, it's probably just a bunch of Vietnamese people just like looking like, damn.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like he's
Yeah.
not in an army base or something,
Yeah.
and they're all helping him out.
My buddy says he wants to go home, and I just say, I
Yeah.
can't find your legs.
Yeah, he
I
wants to
can't
go
find
and
your
drive a
legs.
Chevy. I'm gonna drive a Chevy. I can't find your legs.
Fuck.
Yeah.
That's pretty
very,
good.
Very sad.
Good delivery too on Stallone's
Yeah.
part too.
Yeah.
I liked it.
People make fun of it because
I've
there
made
are
fun of
times
it.
where you can't really understand them.
Yeah.
That's why I had to
But-
turn the subtitles on. But I could understand. I could understand fine.
Yeah,
But that's probably what a real breakdown looks like
yeah,
too.
definitely.
Just
Exactly.
It's
totally
just,
weeping.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you know, people. We haven't really talked about Sylvester Stallone because he gets made fun of a lot.
Hmm.
Because like, you know, whenever anybody, hey yo, hey, Adrian, hey,
Yeah.
yo, Adrian, you know, it's always that. But I actually think he's a good actor. He was always nominated for, like, I think he holds the record for either most nominated or most won or both for Razzie Awards.
Oh,
for,
really?
like, worst actor,
Oh
and
wow.
worst movie, and worst director, because he directed like a lot of the Rocky movies.
Oh.
And I think that's really unfair. I think he's
Yeah,
actually
I don't
a very,
think he's that bad of an
I think
actor.
he's a very talented, intelligent dude.
Yeah.
And
I think he
it's-
looks great in this one too.
Yeah,
He looks really
exactly.
good.
Yeah, and I think it's I forget why he talks like that. I think it's a birth defect
Mm.
or
Mm.
something. I can't, like, I've heard multiple things and I can't remember, but it's not like he chooses to talk like that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And
Definitely distinct,
yeah,
which
definitely.
can be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, in 1985 he had the top two gross. He had Rocky 4 and Rambo First Blood Part 2. Those were the top grossing movies of the year.
Man.
I mean, not a lot of people can say that.
Mm-mm.
I can't remember. I mean, maybe the Marvel people, but it's like you're not the star. Like, say if like Robert Downey Jr. is in an Avengers movie and then he's in like the Captain America movie. You're not the star
Yeah.
Right.
of the Captain America movie. You know, you're one of the stars, but you're not like Robert Downey Jr. in Captain America: Civil War. It's not like that. It's
No.
like
True.
Sylvester Stallone in Rocky 4, Sylvester Stallone in Rambo: First Blood Part 2.
Yeah.
And he directed Rocky 4 also. And I think
Oh, man.
that might have, he was known to have an ego at that time. It's kind of like he just directed or just was a big part of the two highest grossing movies of the year. Like, it's probably gonna give you an ego.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever heard of Cobra?
Dude, we were just watching the intro to that one,
Okay.
me and my dad.
I like the intro. to
That one has a lot of ads in the intro. Like there's like a big old Pepsi aisle.
Oh yes,
just focus
yes,
straight up
and
on
Coors beer and stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
Which in this film, Rambo First Blood, there's a Coca-Cola sign. It says "Have a Coke and smile."
Oh, that's
I don't know if
cool.
you caught that one.
that's cool. No,
Yeah, that was
that's
kind of a cool one.
But he apparently, that movie had a lot of production issues, and the climax of that movie, the bad guy, I guess, when he and Stallone are fighting, or like he's talking to Stallone, like Stallone wasn't even there.
Oh.
He just had to talk to like a double because
Yeah.
like Stallone was too busy watching a basketball game.
What?
And yeah, that's what the actor says.
Holy smoke.
And it's like,
Jeez.
yeah,
Yikes.
come on, man, you can't tape it.
A little bit of,
Come
yeah.
on, come on. But
little ego too.
regardless, I like Stallone a lot. I like a lot of his movies. I think in the commentary he says this is his best action movie, and I agree. This is probably my favorite Stallone action movie.
Definitely. I think that he has a really good choice in like lessons too. In Rocky 4, at the end he like explains, "Can't we all just get along?"
Yeah.
Basically, between
Yeah,
the
he's like,
USSR and
If
America.
I can change, and they can change, then anybody can change, or whatever he says at the end. Yeah.
You got that great message.
Yeah.
You got this one for Vietnam veterans and how much trauma they go through.
Yeah.
He has a good choice of movies.
Yeah. Oh man. What the fuck did I say? I'm gonna say something, but
I like how the colonel says he only has one goal: win by attrition. So then he does exactly that and eliminates the gas station, so this town doesn't have fuel.
Yes.
Eliminates like all of the power boxes, so they don't have
yeah,
power.
The lights, yeah.
Takes all
eliminates-
their guns and
Yeah.
blow it up.
Yeah.
Blows up all their ammo.
Yeah.
I feel like, did he go to a grocery store too, or he was just
He
shooting the
shot
windows
up a
out of?
grocery store.
Yeah.
Yeah, he shot up the
Yeah.
grocery
That
store.
was kind of funny to me because I'm like, does this guy hate Christmas? Because that was like one of the first times that I noticed, like, oh, everything is Christmas
Yeah,
decorated.
so we didn't talk
Rambo's a
about we
Christmas
didn't talk
movie?
about that. Were you here when you might have been inside? Yeah, there's a lot of Christmas decorations in this movie, but there's no mention of it. I don't think anyone said, "Oh, Merry Christmas" or anything, but there's a shit ton of Christmas decorations everywhere.
I didn't realize that even on the second watch through, but that's why me
Yeah.
and my dad watched this one, is because we got pissed off that Die Hard's called a Christmas movie, and we're like, you can just watch any action film and call it a Christmas movie. So
Throw
we
some
put on
Christmas
Rambo.
lights in there.
Yeah,
So,
we just
well,
watched Rambo on
If
Christmas.
we talk
Eve.
about I don't know if I should blow this now, or if we watch Die Hard next month and talk about it, because I think the reason why, I'll just say this for now. I think the reason why people call Die Hard a Christmas movie is because the plot does kind of revolve around Christmas.
Yeah.
He's in L.A.
It's
visiting his
directly
family
because of
for
Christmas.
Christmas, and I'll leave it at that.
Yeah. Well, and then
Leave it
he
at that.
does have that part where he like dresses up the knocked out body, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
the terrorist and like wraps the
now
Christmas
I
lights
have
around
a
him.
machine gun. Oh. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely more Christmas in Die Hard than there is in this, but it was kind of funny to see, oh, it's Christmas time.
It
Yeah.
makes sense with the dreary weather.
Yeah, and the snow. You
Yeah.
know, because they're like, when the reporter's like, he's above the snow line.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Kind of drives it home, like
Yeah.
the battle with the elements as well.
Right.
Yeah.
He's not just fighting National Guard and the sheriff and the state police. He's also got to like survive out there.
In
Yeah.
a tank top, so that's why he gets his poncho that he,
Yeah.
that he makes.
Yeah.
That was a cool outfit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That poncho,
Yeah.
the canvas or whatever
Oh,
it was.
yeah. Yep.
Probably smelled bad, but hey,
Yeah.
Rambo doesn't care.
Exactly.
Once Rambo's done taking out like the whole town's infrastructure, he goes to the police station and he can see the sheriff sitting on top watching out. And at a certain point, he just starts machine gunning the whole station.
Yeah.
And that scene lasts for like a good 30
Yeah.
seconds of
Yeah.
him just mowing
Yeah.
down the
Every
machine,
single window,
the
every
station.
light turns off. Yeah.
He's like standing up at first,
Yeah.
and then it shows all the destruction, and then it shows more destruction, and then like next shot, he's like in cover feeding the belt still.
Yeah.
I don't know why that was
That's-
just such a funny cut to me.
I forget what that gun's called.
M60.
M60.
It's one of my
Yes, thank you,
favorites.
thank
They're like,
you.
what do you have in the back? M60?
No, I thought you said
Yeah.
M16s.
Oh, I think he said M60.
He
Oh,
did,
okay.
yeah.
Because he goes back there
That's
and he
probably
pulls it out.
those French subtitles fucking with me. Again.
Oh,
Oh,
man,
yeah.
16.
Where does this rank? And do you guys would you say you like Sylvester Stallone movies?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen, I can't think of a ton I've seen.
Okay.
Because for some reason, the first one that comes to mind besides Rocky and First Blood is Expendables,
I was gonna say that
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
which
Yeah.
I didn't really care that much for. It's kind
Yeah.
of cool.
I've only seen the first one. I thought it was fine.
Yeah,
it
it
served
was
its
okay.
purpose.
Exactly. It was
Yeah.
just like, it felt like a callback to all
Yeah.
that stuff. and
Yeah,
that's
it
kind
served
of what it
its
was.
purpose for me.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't think of many other Sylvester Stallone movies.
What about you, Carlos?
I'd say yeah. I mean, I've only really seen Rocky 4, First Blood, Expendables.
Have you seen Tango and Cash?
Hmm.
Are you the one I was
Maybe
talking-
like clips.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then a little bit of Cobra, the intro. The intro is
Gotcha.
pretty cool when he's fighting that terrorist. Well, not terrorist, but I guess he is a terrorist in the
He's like
grocery
a
store.
He's like he's robbing the store or whatever the hell.
Yeah. I think he might be a part of a gang or
Yeah,
something. And he's like
yeah.
trying to send a message.
Yeah,
I can't
Cobra's an
remember.
interesting movie.
Yeah.
Talk about that sometime.
Cobretti.
But I in like probably like 5, 6, 7 years ago, I started watching a lot of action movies from like all decades, and I got into a lot of Stallone movies. And there's a bunch. Like I said, Tango and Cash, and Cobra. But then there's Cliffhanger, Demolition Man.
Oh, he has Demolition Man. I've seen that.
Yeah.
Wesley Snipes.
There's one called Daylight. There's one he did called Lockup, where he's like in jail. And there's one called Nighthawks. That's really good. Him and Rutger Hauer. And Billy D. Williams. He's in a lot. He has a very big filmography. There's one called ICU that he did like in the early 2000s. That's pretty good. And of course the Rocky movies.
Mhm.
But this might be my favorite out of all.
This is a good movie.
Yeah, it's very very good.
Yeah. When it's funny that you say that because I don't recognize most of those movies, but if you had me name like 5 action stars, you know, he'd probably be on that list of like
Yeah.
the first ones that come to mind.
Definitely.
You know? So, just, even though I haven't seen him, I still know him as an action star, and maybe it's just because Rambo, First Blood, and all these movies, Rambo is just so, I don't know, ingrained
In the pop
he's
culture?
He's an icon. Yeah.
Yeah, my dad, I
Definitely.
think I might have mentioned it before, did a airsoft tournament, and his initials are RAM, so he already called himself Rambo, but like he would just go in, and he said he would just balls to the wall like charge, and he ended up winning like the MVP trophy or
That's
whatever.
super
Oh,
cool.
that's
And
it.
they
Nice.
have it on there as Rambo, you know, because
Awesome.
they were like, he was just like Rambo, man. He just went in there, he didn't give a fuck. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah,
That's super cool.
You could eat stuff that a billy goat.
Yeah.
Make a billy
yeah,
goat
Make a
puke.
Billy go puke.
yeah. So you know, it's like going Rambo is basically like a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how many people say that now, but if you said it, I would understand what you mean. Like,
Well, Andy's in the pop culture too. John was saying that UHF, Weird Al's
Yeah.
film,
Yeah,
he,
they parody
he does like a
Rambo,
little call out to Rambo.
Gremlins 2.
Gremlins
Yeah.
2. Gizmo
Gizmo's
dresses up.
watching
oh, when he's
Rambo on
like,
the TV.
that's
Yeah.
funny. That's funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who was the director of this movie? Do you know?
Yeah, we didn't talk about him. Ted Kotcheff, I think is his name.
Yeah, Ted Kotcheff.
Yeah.
And didn't he do he did some comedy movie that I
Weekend
knew.
at Bernie's.
Yes,
Yeah,
Weekend at Bernie's,
I thought
same
that was
guy.
kind of interesting.
That's funny.
He did a movie called Uncommon Valor, which made sense to me. That's a good little movie that I think gets swept by the wayside. It's one of the many. It's like the same plot as Rambo First Blood Part 2. They go back to Vietnam for missing POWs.
Mm.
Oh,
It's
okay.
got a good cast. Gene Hackman's in it, Patrick Swayze,
Okay.
Whoa.
a few other people. It's a good movie.
And that's pretty much all he really did. too.
Yeah.
All he directed.
Yeah.
Oh, it was Fun with Dick and Jane.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
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 Jane Fonda one.
Okay.
not,
Okay.
Not Jim Carrey.
no, yeah.
Oh God, I remember that movie. Oh boy. Oh boy.
That's our next film. Fun
Yeah,
with Dick
Fun with
Jim
Dick and Jane with Jim Carrey.
yeah. But I thought the directing was pretty good. It seemed like it's hard to tell sometimes what you boil down to director or cinematographer or editor
Right.
or acting. But altogether, I just felt like this was a good product.
Yeah.
I agree.
Rambo First Blood.
Yeah.
I would be curious to see what Ian ranks this one out of 5 stars.
Oh man, I don't even know. That's
Yeah.
tough.
It is a hard rank.
Are we ranking it already? Are we ranking it?
Do we feel like we've discussed it enough?
Yeah.
It's
I
a bit like
think-
Commando, where there's not a ton to bite into. It's just
Yeah.
kinda there.
Yeah. Yeah. If you guys are ready to rank, I'm ready to rank. Although I'm not, but I will. I will try. Should I rank it first?
Yeah, you should.
Jesus Christ, man.
Put you on the spot.
Yeah.
Fuck.
It's a hard one to rank. It is hard to
Yeah.
rank because we've got I feel like emotional ties to it almost.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
I'm struggling between a 4 and a 4.5. I might go 4. 4 out of 5.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna give it a 4. I mean, it's really up there for me, though. I think it's a great 80s movie, 80s action movie in general, Stallone movie. Movies with the woods in it, movies that are good to watch on an overcast day.
Mm-hmm.
It's just yeah. I guess I'll give it a 4 out of 5.
It's a good score.
Yeah.
Quality score. That's probably right around where I have it. I mean, if I think about it, there's no real weakness in the movie that I can think of.
The only thing,
nothing glaring.
I could point out, like, when the Fu Manchu mustache and the Vietnam flashbacks.
That's the only thing you could really
Yeah.
pinpoint.
And I didn't even
Yeah.
notice that, honestly.
Yeah.
But they're very. It's like 2 frames.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not a big
Interspersed.
thing, but it's also just like, what the fuck? What's that about? It's very nitpicky. That's something. If I had a nitpick, I would say that.
Yeah. But in terms of, like I had said, the pacing, it didn't seem slow or like it dragged at all. It didn't seem rushed either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The shots are all good. I just love the behind enemy lines type movie. That
Yeah.
for some reason that just really strikes a chord with me. I don't know
Yeah.
why. Yeah, I'm right around 4.5 for this one. It also does. It's like I said, an emotional tie, somewhat, because my dad really likes this movie. So like when I watch this movie, it makes me think of my dad and stuff. And it's funny, I was talking to him and he was like, First Blood, good. First Blood Part 2, good. First Blood, the third one, or the third Rambo, trash. And I was like,
John, I
I've heard
think was
that.
kind of saying the same thing.
I've never seen it.
I haven't seen it in a long time. There's a guy I watch on YouTube. He calls it an underrated sequel, and I can kind of see that. I think people kind of sweep it by the wayside
The
just
third
because
one?
it's Rambo 3.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, this is like one of the worst titled franchises ever. It goes from First Blood, Rambo, First Blood Part 2, Rambo 3. So we just got rid of the First Bloods.
Yeah.
Now it's just Rambo
You've had
3.
enough First
And then they
Bloods.
call the fourth one Rambo.
Yeah.
And then they call the fifth one Rambo. That's the only one I haven't seen, Rambo Last Blood. Haven't seen that one.
Yeah.
It's just like,
Mhm.
what the fuck were they thinking? Like,
Yeah.
I think
the-
my dad actually said that the third one might be his favorite because he fights the Russians in that
yes, yeah,
Mm.
yeah. It's
See, I
it's
haven't even
not-
seen it. I don't know.
It's
I haven't
if
seen it.
someone called it an underrated sequel, I would not argue. I need to watch it again. That's the one I watched the least.
Yeah.
But It's also, I remember it. I think he's got a good line in it. Like someone's like, "Who are you?" And he goes, "Your worst nightmare."
So that,
Yeah, he says something like that.
well, sometimes also, like we talked about with Matrix sequels, it can suffer a little bit from its reputation, and then when you watch it, you're like, "Oh, this isn't so bad."
Yeah, exactly. Good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But as for this movie, Rambo First Blood, well, First Blood, not Rambo First Blood. Man, I'm right with you. I'm tough. I'm struggling between 4.5. I think 4.5. You know?
All right, I'm changing too. Sorry, I gotta rip you off. 4.5.
All right. Yeah.
Talk me into it, goddammit. 4.5.
I think I gave Matrix a 5, and now it's
Okay.
almost like I'm basing so much off of Matrix.
Okay.
The difference maybe between a 4.5 and a 5 with this one is just like I'm not like edge of my seat the whole time, but I think there's a little bit of a slow burn element to this one too. You know, so yeah, justifying it in my head, bam, 4.5 stars.
Yeah,
That's what I'd give it.
Because really, after hearing you talk and then going back to what I said, like if I were to make criticisms, they'd be nitpicks.
Mhm.
So it's like, yeah, I'll give it a 4.5. Like, it's a very competent, well-made movie.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it did well. It did well commercially. It made a lot of money, but critics, I think, kind of were just like, this is meh. And then
Really?
it got as time went on, it's been reevaluated better, which is cool.
Some classic films are like that.
Yeah, exactly. Glad it made money though.
Yeah.
I mean, even though we got a bunch of other Rambo, which I do kind of like. I do like the sequels.
Hey, Carlos, you bought the whole collection, didn't you?
Yeah, tell me
Yeah,
how
I'm
5 is. I didn't hear good things about 5. That's why I
No.
didn't go see it.
I've
That
seen
was
some of
2019.
5.
And I didn't like, because like 4 ends pretty, it's a bookend. It ends pretty well.
Mm.
So it's like, why did we need another one? That's our the
Money.
whole, yeah, money.
I always think of
Money.
the SpongeBob movie when they're like, "Mr. Krabs, why did you open a second Krusty Krab?" And he just like leans into the mic. He's like, "Money."
That's funny.
What I always
Money, that's funny.
think. So yeah, 4.5 for me, 4.5 for you,
Yeah,
Carlos.
I'll rip you off.
Where you at?
I don't know if I've given out a 5, but I think this might be a 5 for me.
Okay.
Yeah, this
I
one.
respect that tremendously. It's a,
Confetti comes down.
yeah. This is a great overall average then, because I think
Yeah.
then
True, yeah.
it's a 14 out of 15 then, right?
Yeah.
Man, that is
Yeah.
really good.
That's
That's better than
that.
we gave Matrix.
I think that's our best rated movie so far.
Rambo First Blood.
Doom got like an F.
Yeah.
Doom got like an 8 out of 15. John really curved that one down, which
Oh,
rightfully,
no.
hey, you know what, right?
different strokes for different
Yeah,
folks.
exactly. Nothing wrong with that. But yeah, I'm glad.
I think it's
Got
a
it.
beautiful film,
Yeah.
beautiful messages, amazing characters, amazing quotes. It's a highly quotable film.
Yeah.
I could see why it lasted as so big in the pop culture through the years.
Mhm.
Yeah, and we don't get too many settings like that in the small American town.
Yeah.
Right.
Up in the
Twin Peaks.
mountains.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Beautiful.
But an action, not David Lynch Twin Peaks. You know, this
Like, oh
is.
god,
Yeah.
imagine if David Lynch directed this.
Oh, God.
Boy. Sylvester Stallone took me to a restaurant. It's not that I don't like red meat, but that was the only thing they had on the menu.
Yeah, let me get a cherry pie and.
Oh god. They got a cherry pie there. That'll what does he say? That'll kill you.
Yeah,
What does Dale Cooper say about the cherry pie?
I can't
They
even
got a
remember
cherry
it.
pie there.
To die.
Yeah,
Something like
yeah.
that, yeah. And black
Well,
coffee.
Yeah.
So, sorry, but.
Yeah, that's fucking hilarious.
This is a
God,
good
man.
flick. I like it.
I'm glad you guys, because I never want it to be like a time where I choose a movie. It's like, why the fuck did you choose this, dude?
Oh,
What
man.
the fuck? Like, we
Even
had
if
watched
it's
this.
terrible, there's
Out
something.
of all the other movies we could have watched, we watched this. So I'm glad, like, hopefully,
Which was
This
probably
was-
Greasy Strangler for us.
yeah.
But that one grew on us.
Yeah,
Well,
that
wait
really
a minute.
did.
I don't think I chose. I think you guys were more interested in that. I think I
Probably.
warned you guys. I was like,
Don't.
okay, you sure? I'll
Hey, I
talk
mean, I
about
watched
it.
Greasy Strangler with friends. They liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of these days I need to break out the Blu-ray over here or somewhere and we'll watch all the commentary and the behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bullshit artist. So
Horseshit artist. Something artist.
yeah, we have to like go through and do our cumulative ratings and see what they all
Yeah.
are for every movie.
I think First Blood is the top notch right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, for good
And
reason.
I'm totally fine with that.
Solid movie.
Yeah.
That's funny that yeah, if you go on like if you look up what is it, Ebert and Siskel or whatever, I'm sure they don't have 4.5 stars for First Blood. I'm
Okay.
curious what people didn't like about it, what they thought.
I think I read a little bit. I think Roger Ebert didn't like the ending.
Oh,
I thought maybe he thought maybe it was maybe
like a
anticlimactic.
cop out kind of almost.
Yeah,
I don't
but
know.
I think it works.
Yeah.
I think it works.
I think on my first watch through, I did kind of find it anticlimactic that they just take him prisoner.
But at the same, but he kind of wins though. You know.
Yeah.
He made his point.
Mm-hmm.
You know. He says the speech at the end of Troutman.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He-
Second time though, I was like, oh yeah, no, that's a good
he
ending.
leaves this mark. Like, you know, it's kind of just like, you know, why are you pushing me? Or are you gonna push me? I'll push back. And look what I did compared to what you did.
Yeah.
You know, you guys blew up a cave. I destroyed your whole town and, you know, maimed your men, killed some dogs
Right.
in
Yeah.
a war.
You started this war.
Yeah, I'll give you a war you won't believe. Let it go. Great. Should we talk about what we're gonna do next time? Do we know what we're doing next? I think we kind of know what we're doing next time, right?
What are we doing next time?
Isn't it John's birthday?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. And he wanted to watch Thing.
Yeah,
The Thing. John Carpenter's The
Yeah.
Thing.
yeah. That'll be really fun.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
stoked.
Yeah,
I
I'm
like
glad we're
that
gonna
movie.
cover it.
yeah,
So yeah.
gonna
Maybe
be-
another good rating, or I don't know. Maybe I'll watch it with more of a critical eye and be
Yeah.
like, "Ugh." That one does
That-
have Wilford Brimley.
I know. Yeah, yeah. This one has the actual. The Thing is the actual Wilford Brimley.
Yeah. And John Carpenter. I mean, Kurt Russell.
Oh,
Because he
yeah.
did talk about how Escape from New York is a bit similar.
Tango and Cash, Kurt Russell and Sylvester Stallone.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
People should watch
really?
that.
Oh.
And they get reunited in the second Guardians of the Galaxy or actually they don't share screen time though, which is kind of a bummer.
Oh,
They're
that's
both
true.
in it though.
Yeah.
But
Eh?
yeah, I'm very much looking forward to The Thing. Hopefully that'll all go smoothly and that'll a lot to talk about that one.
Yeah.
That'll be
I'll bring the petri dishes.
there we go.
Yeah, so we can all
gotta-
test each other.
the scalpel, cut our thumbs.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
The
l-
blowtorch.
My
Yes.
favorite line in that movie, just a little look ahead, I guess, or it might change on a rewatch. But when Gary's tied up to the chair and he's like,
Yeah.
"The other people, will you please untie me from this fucking
Yeah.
chair?"
Yeah, when you find the time.
Yeah.
I know you fellows have been through a lot. When you find the time, you know.
Yeah.
That's gonna be fun.
Cool. Well, thanks for listening, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
Thanks.
you guys. Thank the listeners.
Yeah, thanks for a good pick, Ian.
Yeah, glad you guys liked it.
Yeah.
I had a great time
Watch
watching it
First
again.
Blood if you haven't yet.
Yeah, go watch
For
First
real.
Blood. Great
I'd be
movie.
surprised if you listen to this and haven't seen it yet.
Yeah,
Hear a
yeah.
review on it before I listen.
Exactly.
To
I need an opinion other than my own first going forward.
I need the boys to tell
yeah,
me.
the experts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Last night I watched Experts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Until next time.
Until next time,
Peace.
guys.
Let it go.
Let it go.
Fuck